Today we are going to perform a practical qualitative analysis of carbohydrate. Our today's sample is maltose and lactose.
Students, let us see the requirement for our today's practical, that is qualitative analysis of carbohydrates. Samples are maltose and lactose. Requirements are as follows. Chemicals required are maltose, lactose, distilled water, Molish reagent, Benedict's reagent, Barfour reagent, Selivinov's reagent, glacial acetic acid, phenylhydrazine hydrochloride, sodium acetate crystals. And in apparatus we will require test tube, beaker, test tube holder and microscope. The general introduction beside this practical is carbohydrates are widely distributed in plants and animals. They have important structural and metabolic roles. Chemically, carbohydrates are aldehyde or ketone derivatives of polyhydric alcohols. So, glucose is the most important carbohydrate, the major metabolic fuel of the mammals, and, and a universal fuel of the fetus. It is the precursor for the synthesis of all the other carbohydrates in the body. Let us see the classification of carbohydrates. First of all, it is classified into monosaccharides. Monosaccharides are those carbohydrates that cannot be further hydrolyzed into a simple carbohydrate. They may be classified as triose, tetrose, pentose, hexose, and or heptose, depending upon the number of carbon atoms, and as aldoses or the ketoses, depending upon whether they have an aldehyde or ketone group in their structure. Second class is the disaccharides. Disaccharides are the condensation products of the two monosaccharide units. Examples are maltose and sucrose. Next is oligosaccharides. These oligosaccharides are condensation products of 3 to 10 monosaccharides. Next is polysaccharides. These polysaccharides are condensation products of more than 10 monosaccharides unit. For examples are starches, dextrins, which may be the linear or the branch polymer. Let us see the one by one chemical test for the qualitative analysis of maltose and lactose. So first one, Molish test. The principle involved in this test is carbohydrates when treated with the concentrated sulfuric acid, they undergoes dehydration to give furfural derivatives. These compounds condense with the alpha naphthol to form color product. Pentoses yield furfural while the hexoses yield the 5-hydroxy-methyl furfural. So procedure to determine for the Molish test is take a 2 ml of carbohydrate solution in a clean and the dry test tube. Add 2 drops of ethanolic alpha naphthol, that is the Molish reagent, and mix the content. Then incline the test tube and add carefully 2 ml of concentrated sulfuric acid along the side of the test tube so as to form a two layer. This is the procedure for the test. After performing this test, we will get some interpretation. This is the sensitive but not a specific test and is given positive by all the types of carbohydrates. If the oligosaccharides or the polysaccharides are present, they are first hydrolyzed to the monosaccharides, which are then dehydrated to give the test positive. So this test is basically important for the carbohydrate detection. An appearance of the reddish violet or the purple colored ring at the junction of two liquid is observed in a positive Molish test. Okay, if your given sample is carbohydrate, then you will observe the test like this. This is the purple or the violet colored ring at the junction of the two liquid is present, and if this ring is observed, then we will say our sample is having as a carbohydrate. Let us see the second test, that is the Benedict test. Benedict test, the principle involved in this test is carbohydrates with the free aldehyde or the ketone group have the ability to reduce solution of various metallic ions. Reducing sugars under the alkaline condition tautomerize and form the indiols. These indiols are powerful reducing agent. They reduce cupric ion to the cuprous form and are themselves converted to the sugar acids. The cuprous ion combines with the OH minus ions to form the yellow cuprous hydroxide, which upon heating is converted to the red cuprous oxide. Let us see the procedure for the Benedict test. Take a 5 ml of Benedict reagent, add 8 drops of carbohydrate solution and boil that solution over the flame or in a boiling water bath for 2 minutes. Let the solution cool down. After cooling the solution, you will get the two types of observation. One is with the blue color, and the second one with the reddish color. After performing this Benedict test, we will get the interpretations like Benedict test is a semi-quantitative test. The color of the precipitate gives a rough estimate of a reducing sugar present in a sample. Okay, if no reduction is occurs, then that indicates absence of the reducing sugar. Okay, if green color is occurred, then that indicates up to the 5.5 gram per percent that sugar is present. If the precipitate is of the green precipitate, then that indicate 0.5 to 1 gram percent sugar is present. Then yellow precipitate indicate 1 to 1.5 gram percent sugar is present. Orange precipitate indicate 1.5 to 2 gram percent sugar is present, and the precipitate color is brick red, that indicate more than 2 gram percent sugar is present. Benedict test is a semi-quantitative test. That's why we will get the different colors into the precipitate depends upon the present of reducing sugar present in a sample. The color form depends upon the amount of reducing sugar present in that mixture. The next test is the Barford test. The principle involved in Barford test is aldoses and ketoses can reduce cupric ion even in acidic conditions. So, this test is used to distinguish reducing monosaccharide from disaccharides by controlling pH and the time of heating. Monosaccharides reacts very fast, whereas the disaccharides react very slowly. Let us see the procedure involved in Barford's test. To the 2 ml of Barford reagent, add 2 ml of carbohydrate solution. Keep this test tube in a boiling water bath for 3 minutes. Cool under running water and overheating should be avoided. So, after performing this test, you will get a sandy brick red precipitate uh, in the positive reaction. Okay, if your sample is having a sugar, then that will give a such a type of brick red precipitate. Interpretation: the positive reaction indicates the presence of reducing monosaccharides. So this test is for the reducing monosaccharide. On prolonged heating, disaccharide can also give this test positive. Hence the solution should be boiled for 3 minutes only. The next test is Sullivan's test. The principle involved in this test is ketohexoses on treatment with the hydrochloric acid form 5-hydroxymethyl furfural, which on condensation with resorcinol give a cherry red colored complex. Let us see the procedure for this test. To the 3 ml of Sullivan's reagent, add a 1 ml of fructose, or you can say any sample. Boil for a 30 minutes and cool the solution. A cherry red color is positive in a positive reaction. This test is given positive by only the ketohexases, so it is answered by fructose, sucrose and the other fructose containing carbohydrate. Okay, so this test distinguishes between the glucose and fructose. Overheating of the solution should be avoided. Upon continuous boiling, aldoses get converted to the ketones and give a positive reaction with the Sullivan's reagent. Next test is Oxazone test. The principle involved in this test is a solution of reducing sugar when heated with phenylhydrazine. Characteristic yellow crystalline compound called oxazones are formed. These crystals have definite crystalline structure precipitation time and the melting point for the different reducing sugars. So procedure for this Oxazone test is add 10 drops of glacial acetic acid to 5 ml of sugar solution in a test tube. Then add a knife point of phenyl hydrazine hydrochloride and double the amount of sodium acetate crystal. Mixture Mix and warm a little to see that the solids are dissolved. Filter the solution in another test tube and keep the filtrate in a boiling water bath for 20 minutes. Allow the test tube to cool slowly in a water bath without cooling it hurriedly under the tap water or tap to have the better crystal. Examine these crystals under the microscope. So this is the procedure for the test, and for the maltose, you can observe these sunflower shaped crystals under the microscope, and for the lactose, you can observe powder puff hedgehog shaped crystals of lactazone under the microscope. Students, now we will perform the actual practical for this qualitative analysis of two samples, that is the maltose and lactose.
Students, before starting the actual practical, we will proceed for the requirements that include the chemicals also and glasswares also. First of all, we will say the chemical requirement for our today's practical. We will require Benedict's reagent, Barford reagent, Molish reagent, glacial acetic acid, sodium acetate, phenyl hydrazine hydrochloride, our sample, that is the maltose and the lactose. Also we will require distilled water. Along with these chemicals, we will require some glasswares. In glasswares, we will require test tube holder, beakers, pipette, rubber bulb, water bath assembly, microscope and the slides to perform the Oxazone test. Student, first of all, we are going to perform the chemical test for the sample maltose. First test is the Molish test. For this, I have prepared a sample into a distilled water. Now we will perform the test. We have to take a sample near about 2 ml into a test tube. Then we have to add a Molish reagent. Okay. After addition of Molish reagent, shake the content of test tube. Then we have to add concentrated H2SO4 solution. From the side of test tube. Okay. You can observe a violet ring at the bottom. See, this is the violet ring. That indicate the presence of carbohydrate into the sample. Students, now we will proceed for the first test for lactose. Same test we have to perform for the lactose also. Okay. First of all, we have to take a sample solution into the test tube. Then we have to add a Molish reagent. After addition of mollusk reagent, just shake the content of test tube, okay, and then add concentrated sulfuric acid from the wall of test tube, okay. Students, you can observe a blue-violet ring at the junction of two liquids. Okay, this test is also positive for the second sample, lactose. This observation indicates that in both the samples that carbohydrate is present. Student, let us start a second test, that is the Benedict's reagent test. Okay, for this test we have to take a sample. Before addition of sample, we have to take a Benedict's reagent into our test tube. Now we have to add a very small quantity of our sample into this test tube. Okay. Then we have to heat this content directly on a flame or on a boiling water bath. So we are heating this content on a boiling water bath. Again, you will get a different observation as reducing sugars present into the sample. Okay, and this test is mostly for the reducing sugar. You can observe there is the change in color. Again, this is a semi-quantitative test that indicates or that color change is depends on the quantity of reducing sugar present in the sample. Okay, you can observe there is a near about 90% color change into the solution. So we have to heat for a while so that total solution get changed. Okay. So students, you can observe there is a color change into the solution. Initially it was a blue color, and after heating on a water bath it is changed towards the red color. Okay, that indicate the presence of reducing sugar present in a sample maltose. Students, now we will proceed for the same test, that is our Benedict test with our second sample, that is the lactose. First of all, we have to take a Benedict's reagent into a test tube. Okay. I am adding a Benedict reagent to the test tube. Now we have to add our sample, lactose sample into the test tube. Okay. Now we have to heat this sample directly on a flame or in a boiling water bath. You can observe before starting the heating the color of the solution is completely blue. Now we have to start the heating. So you can observe that color of the solution is changing towards the yellow. See the color change. So students, after complete heating, you can observe the color change. This color change indicate the reducing sugar is present in the sample lactose. So student, you can observe there is the difference, slight difference in the color after reduction with the Benedict's reagent. That maltose gives somewhat reddish color, whereas the lactose gives the orange color into the solution. Students, let us start with the third test, that is barcode test. Okay, for this test we have to take first barcode reagent, then we will proceed first for our sample, that is the maltose. Okay, so take this barcode reagent. We have to take a barcode reagent. Okay, then we have to add our first sample, that is the maltose. Okay. Now we have to heat it on a boiling water bath for 2 to 3 minutes. Initially you can observe there is the blue color to the solution. Now we have to observe that what will be the color change after heating on a boiling water bath for 2 to 3 minutes. Students, you can observe there is a no color change after 1 minute continuously boiling on water bath. This test is for the reducing monosaccharides. Okay, if you continue for the boiling for more than 3 minutes and that excess boiling takes place, and then disaccharides convert into the monosaccharides, and then they will show the this test positive. So you have to take care of time also. Okay, so you can observe there is the no color change, so this test is negative for our sample maltose, that indicates reducing monosaccharides is absent in our sample. Students, now we will proceed for the same test, that is barcodes reagent test, for our second sample, that is the lactose. Okay, so first I am adding this barcode reagent into the test tube. Then we have to add our sample, that is the lactose sample, and again we have to heat this content on a boiling water bath for 3 minutes. Now see this color, initially it is a blue color. You have to have clean observation regarding the color change. Initially it is a blue. Let us heat this solution for 2 to 3 minutes, and then we will observe is there color change after the heating or not. Just I have explained you, this test is positive for the reducing monosaccharide. Okay, lactose is again a disaccharide. If you heat it for the more than 3 to 5 minutes, then these disaccharides converted into a monosaccharides, and then that monosaccharides will give the test positive. So you have to take care of time also. So near about half minute heating, you can observe there is a no change in color of the solution. We have to heat it for a further 2.5 minutes. So students, you can observe after complete heating of 3 minutes, there is no change in the color of the solution. That indicates that this sample is absence of reducing monosaccharide. Student, let us start with the next test, that is the Osazone test. For this test, first of all we have to take in a test tube near about 10 drops of glacial acetic acid. Okay, then we have to add in this our first sample solution, that is the maltose. Okay, after addition of this sample, then we have to add phenylhydrazine hydrochloride, a pinch of phenylhydrazine hydrochloride. Okay, and then we have to add double the quantity of sodium acetate of phenylhydrazine. After this, we have to mix this solution very well. Now students, we have to heat this solution on a water bath to get solid completely dissolve into it. Okay. You can observe the clear solution into the test tube. Okay. Now we have to filter this solution into another test tube. So I am filtering this solution into another test tube. Now we have to warm this solution on a boiling water bath for 20 minutes. Students, you can observe the change in the color of the solution. Okay, you have to heat it for more 10 minutes. Students, you can observe the color change after complete 20 minutes of heating. Now we have to cool the content of test tube in a water bath, not in a tap directly. Okay, so we have to cool this content, then immediately the crystals will develop into the test tube, and that crystal we have to observe under the microscope. Students, you can observe the crystals appeared into the test tube. Now we have to transfer these crystals on a slide, and then we have to observe under the microscope. Students, now we have to see this content on the slide, which are present on the slide under the microscope. Okay. You will get a sunflower shaped crystals from our first substance, that is the maltose. Students, now we will proceed for the second sample and the same test, that is the oxazone formation test for the lactose. So in the test tube we have to take 10 to 12 drops of glacial acetic acid. In that we have to add our sample, that is lactose. Okay. Then add a pinch of phenylhydrazine hydrochloride, and double the quantity of sodium acetate as that of your phenylhydrazine hydrochloride. Okay. Students, now we have to heat this content slightly to dissolve the solid phenylhydrazine hydrochloride and sodium acetate. Students, you can observe that solid of phenylhydrazine hydrochloride and sodium acetate get completely dissolved into our solution. Okay. Now we have to filter this content into another test tube. Okay. Now we have to heat this content on a water bath for a next 20 minutes. You have to heat this content on water bath for 20 minutes, boiling water bath for 20 minutes. You can observe the color initially. Students, you can observe there is change in the color of the solution. Initially it was a pale color, now it is turning towards the yellow color. We have to heat the solution for more 5 to 7 minutes. Students, you can observe a drastic color change after the 20 minutes of complete heating. It is completely a yellow color. Okay. Now we have to cool this content into a water bath, not under a tap. Okay, keep this for a cooling near about 5 minutes, and after cooling you will get the crystals. That crystals you have to observe under the microscope, and that is the crystals of lactazone. Students, you can observe the change in nature of this content of test tube. Now we have to transfer this content on a slide, and then we have to observe that under the microscope. Now we have to transfer this content on a slide. Students, now we have to observe this content under the microscope. You will observe a powder puff shaped crystals under the microscope. Students, now we will proceed for the result part for our today's practical quantitative analysis of carbohydrate sample, that is maltose and lactose.
Hello students, let us discuss about the results obtained after the qualitative analysis of carbohydrate sample maltose and lactose. First of all, we have performed the chemical reactions for the maltose. The first reaction we have performed, that Molish test. We have observed the purple ring at the junction of two liquids that indicates the carbohydrate sample is present. The second test we have performed, that Benedict's test, that shows the brick red PPT and that indicate the reducing sugars may be present. Third test we did Barford test, and that observation was no color change, and that tell monosaccharide is absent. And the fourth test we have performed, that Osazone formation or Osazone test. After observing that into the microscope, we have observed the sunflower shaped crystals, and that is the confirmatory test for the microscope. You can see over here the sunflower shaped osazones observed in the microscope. The second sample we have analyzed, that is the lactose. After performing the chemical test for the lactose, we have observed the different observations. The first test we performed, that is the Molish test, that is the purple ring observed at the junction of two liquids, and that indicates the carbohydrate sample may be present. The second test we performed, that Benedict's test, that brick red color PPT, that again it changes on the concentration of the reducing sugar, that shows that reducing sugar may be present. The third test we perform, that is the Barford test, that is the observation was no color change observed in the solution, that indicate monosaccharides absent. And the last test we perform, that is the Osazone test, in that powder puff hedgehog shaped crystals were obtained. That is the confirmatory test for the lactose. You can observe the crystals like this. Students, let us see the question bank related to this practical. First question, what are the carbohydrates? Carbohydrates are the most abundant organic compounds which are found in the living organism and are composed of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. Carbohydrates acts as the primary source to provide the energy for functioning of the living organism. They are called carbohydrates because they can be considered as a hydrate of the carbon. Generally, carbohydrates are defined as the polyhydroxyaldehyde or the polyhydroxy ketones or the compounds which produces such products on hydrolysis. Carbohydrates are called as saccharides also, and some of them have the sweet taste, are called as sugars. Second question, how do you classify carbohydrates based on reactivity? Based on reactivity with Tollens, Benedict's and the Fellings reagent, carbohydrates are classified as reducing sugar and non-reducing sugar. What do you mean by reducing sugar? Carbohydrates that can reduce tollens, benedicts, and the Fehling's reagents are called as reducing sugar. That is the sugars with the free aldehydes or the ketone groups. All the monosaccharides and most of the disaccharides are the reducing sugar. Some examples are maltose and the lactose. Second one, non-reducing sugars. Carbohydrates that cannot reduce tollens, benedicts and the Fehling's reagents are called as non-reducing sugar, and sucrose is the example of non-reducing sugar. Next question, explain the Molish test. Molish reagent is the 10% alcoholic solution of alpha naphthol. This is the common chemical test to detect the presence of carbohydrate. Carbohydrates undergoes the dehydration by the sulfuric acid to form the furfural, that is furfuraldehyde, that react with the alpha naphthol to form a violet colored product. Next question, explain the Benedict test. Benedict test distinguishes reducing sugar from the non-reducing sugar. Benedict's reagent contains blue copper ions, that is Cu2 plus cupric ions, that are reduced to the copper ion, that is the Cu plus, that is cuprous ion, by the carbohydrate. These ions form a precipitate as a red color cuprous oxide. Next question, draw the structure for the maltose and lactose. You can observe this is the structure for the maltose and this is the structure for the lactose. Student, I hope you have understood the qualitative analysis of carbohydrate samples like maltose and lactose. Thank you.